Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So in today's video we are going to be talking a little bit about variegation. Now guys, there are different types of variegation. A lot of times we tend to purchase variegated plants and the plant comes in variegated. Then the second one is wherein these people, they tend to do or have a malpractice of inducing chemicals into the plants in order to get the variegation. And then there is something called as, like this plant you're seeing right in front of you. Now when I purchased this plant, it did not have any variegation. Out of the blue, it just started to put out variegation on the leaves. Now I'm not very sure how. A lot of times this happens due to the soil composition or due to the environment or due to the succulent itself. Now I'm not very sure about the exact ID, because when I purchased this succulent, it came in a combo and it was not labeled. But from my experience, I think it is an Echeveria taurus. So basically this is an Echeveria variegated taurus. I'm not very sure about the exact ID, but I will do a comparison video in the later part. You will be able to see why it resembles a lot like taurus. Now, as I said, at times you might purchase a succulent variegated from a seller. Now, I do love variegation, but I'm not a very big fan of variegated plants. The reasons are, one is variegation is very unstable. It's not necessary that your plant will stay variegated throughout its span of life. A lot of times the variegation tends to revert back. Talking about the chemically induced variegation, please do not buy them. I never encourage people to buy chemically induced succulents, because one, the chemically induced variegation is very unstable. I wouldn't even say unstable, it is just not there, because once the leaves or once the succulent starts to grow, the new leaves will come out like the regular mother plant. It is not going to have variegation because the chemical was induced only to certain leaves, and over the period of time those variegated leaves which had the chemical will fall off and your succulent is going to have the regular growth what it originally has. And over here, as you can see, there are around 3 of the variegated leaves. Even the new growth on the crown has a partial variegation. And now this happened to grow naturally, because I remember clearly I had an eye on this succulent because it was not doing quite well ever since I got it. So I can completely vouch that when I purchased this succulent, it did not have any variegation. Now, a couple of weeks back itself, it started to open up and it started to show a lot of new growth, and I was quite happy. And at that point of time, I noticed that it had one variegated leaf, and then slowly I started noticing that it started getting more and more variegation on it. Now, I'm not very sure, again guys, there is no concrete information on the internet as to why succulent tends to naturally get the variegation. A lot of times they say that it's because of the soil composition or because of the environment or because of the succulent itself. It tends to genetically modified, due to which the variegation tends to appear on the leaves. So any which ways, I'm very happy with it. If you have a naturally variegated succulent, there is nothing better than that. Now, I'm not very sure how long or how stable this variegation is. As in, when the succulent is going to grow bigger, I will definitely try to propagate via leaf propagation, and I hope the new pups that come out from the variegated leaf, I hope that they transfer that variegation on those pups, because it's going to be a fantastic thing if I have more of the variegated taurus, because it's an absolutely beautiful plant. Variegation in general looks very beautiful on succulents, but as I said, it's not very stable. But when you have an succulent that naturally variegates itself in your environment, there is nothing better than that. So fingers crossed. I hope that whenever I'm going to do a leaf propagation, I hope that the new pups also come out variegated, because variegation is quite popular in the plant community, be it foliage plants, be it succulents. The moment you hear the word variegation, the price of that particular plant tends to triple or double. So it's always amazing to have a variegated plant. So let's hope that the variegation stays on this plant. Now I will quickly, as I said, I'm going to compare the regular Echeveria taurus that I have. So I'll put it up on the screen. So here, as you can see on your right hand side, this is a regular Echeveria taurus that I have. and the one on the left is the one that is showing up variegation. Now, as I said, I'm not very sure about the ID of the left one, but if you tend to look closely, they both look very similar. So I assume that this could be Echeveria variegated Taurus, and I'm very happy to own one. So that's all about it. And remember guys, this video does not encourage or promote selling or buying of chemically induced plants, be it succulents or be it foliage plants. Even though they tend to look absolutely beautiful and attractive, remember the chemically induced leaves will fall off over the period of time, and the original plant, as and when it starts to grow, is going to have the regular green leaves or the regular color that the succulent has. So please refrain from buying or selling such plants. They are not very healthy. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, bye bye.